Greetings, my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. I am Pastor Jay Cho, who will be your guide in instructing you through the book of Revelation. In all the 66 books of the Bible, it is the book of Revelation that is most intriguing and fascinating in my humble opinion. It also happens to be the most controversial, misguided, and misinterpreted as well. Therefore, my goal is not to share interpretations of some famous theologians or preachers, but to simply go over what each of the verses say with an explanation only when it is necessary, one chapter at a time. I will be using the word-per-word translation of the New Testament with syntax rearranged for easier reading as the main text of our study together. There are many Bible versions like the King James, New International, and English Standard, but they are all paraphrased translations of the original Greek New Testament. And these many versions all have significant number of translation errors because none of them are the most accurate word-per-word translations. Therefore, I advise you to get the word-per-word translation of the New Testament, especially the one that I published recently, where I rearranged the syntax for an easier reading. Because the ordering of the words in Greek language is very different than English, and the fact that the Greek New Testament was written in contextual form, word-per-word translation can be quite confusing and difficult to understand, unless the words are rearranged and the missing words from time to time are added. Therefore, I worked little over a year rearranging the words and adding the missing words in parentheses, using the word-per-word interlinear Greek to English New Testament published by Tyndale Publisher, which happens to be the most accurate word-per-word translation according to the most biblical Greek scholars. If you want to purchase my word-per-word translation with syntax rearranged for easier reading, all you have to do is type my name, Jay Cho, and then books inside the search engine of Amazon.com. You will then find my New Testament and the rest of the books that I have written. The book of Revelation contains an important message from Jesus Christ to his church and gives an account of the major events that will happen before the second coming of Jesus Christ and how the Christians will live eternally. Apostle John, who was one of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, is the author, and he wrote the book as a letter to the 7 churches, which are all located inside the nation of today's Turkey. Revelation is believed to have been written between 75 AD to 100 AD when Emperor Domitian was ruling the Roman Empire. It was a period in which there was a much persecution upon the Church of Jesus Christ. This will conclude the introduction of the book of Revelation.